Hi, this is Camilla Blossom from Earth School. Welcome. This video is about how you can feel safe working with fairies, nature spirits, elementals, devas, and beings of nature. And by that I mean how to set good boundaries, how to have discernment about the spirits you're working with, how to really feel good and safe about how you work with the spirits of nature, especially as you open deeper to these beautiful energies that are all around us. This video is really designed for people who are earth empaths, sensitives, light workers, and those who have a deep connection with the earth and the spirits of nature. So I welcome you to enjoy this way to build more powerful practices that will be helpful as you be in nature, whether it's the forest, by the ocean, the mountains, the rivers. Why I wanted to share this was because there's a lot of judgments too about fairy, about nature spirits, about these beings that can create a feeling that they may be evil, that they cause trouble, they might be bad, that they're pagan, they're taboo in some way. So many people that are into this kind of work or have this kind of lineage or even feel they are fae or they are elemental, we can often feel like it's not safe to express ourselves, to connect with these beings, to really overcome that repression, that suppression, that patriarchal energy that has kept these energies, beliefs down. And a lot of those were kept down due to the judgments. So in our lineages and of the past, there's many acts of suppression and judgment. So this judgment is what created these witch trials. This judgment that herbalists and medicine women and fairy people and witches and people that love nature and know about nature, a lot of these arts of nature, these ways of life of nature were suppressed and judged. And that is, to me, the result of why there was these witch burnings and persecution of these medicine people and people like us and our ancestors. So these practices are an opportunity to let go of your own judgments, the judgments you carry from the collective, the fears that you may carry, and just know that there's simple things you can do to feel safer about stepping deeper into your lineage or your path or whatever way you love to express your love and joy and magic and communication and connection with the planet and with all these wonderful beings. I just want to share a story to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. About 15 years ago, I went to a healer because I was just feeling exhausted and I didn't know what was going on. And she said that every fairy, every elemental, every deva was hovering around my auric field asking for help. And so 24/7 I was bombarded with these spirits that were wanting my help. They could see who I am and how much I care about the earth and them, but they didn't recognize the human need for boundaries and for discernment and how things could work. And so I was just wiped out because I didn't set really good boundaries about working with these spirits. And so that was a big wake-up call to, oh, okay, I need to get better at setting clear boundaries. And on every level, my whole life I've been practicing this, and I think as a sensitive empath you probably can relate. But the boundaries exist on the physical level, saying no and yes and being discerning, right? Telling people what you need, what you don't need, what you can do and can't do, being really clear and healthy. And that's like setting our energy field for our physical self. and how people relate to our body, and whether we have consent. And then there's also the mental level. It's our thoughts and beliefs and how we work with those. What we even believe is part of the boundary. And also that thought forms can be all around, so you can pick up other thoughts and ideas and energies that aren't yours and claim them as yours when they're not. So that's another boundary to be really clear on. Emotionally, if you're an emotional empath like me, I feel the energies of people all around. I feel the fairies, I feel the land, I just feel a lot. And so learning to distinguish what's yours, what's not, and to recognize too, we are all one. We are each like a cell in the greater whole. So I don't want to dismiss that is really the consciousness we carry. But within that, we need to learn to be an intact cell of integrity. And that's why these boundaries are all important. And then we move to the spiritual and the psychic and those more invisible, more how we connect with the divine, how we connect in a way that's healthy for us. Or maybe it's overwhelming. You might have, like for myself, I had all these beautiful spirits from nature that were wanting connection and to work with me, which is a great thing, but it was overwhelming. And if you're sensitive or empathic, the overwhelm factor can be really huge. So to respect all those different boundaries in the ways that you do that, is really wonderful. So I want to go through a little practice or attunement here to help you resonate and enter that state to be more clear in your boundaries and discernment and to feel safer. And one of the key things about how to recognize that you are safe is how you feel. Like, do you feel right about doing whatever you're doing, whether it's connecting with a rose bush or out in a forest or by a river? Like, does it feel good to be there? So that's one way that you can recognize, okay, like that happens to me a lot too. I'll go somewhere and it won't feel good. And so there's like different ways it can go here too. You can go and go, okay, this feels really good. It feels very healing. I like being here. Feels good boundaries and discernment. But you can go to a place and it feels really off. But what it is, there might be a nature spirit there who needs help. And so that's when you have to be really clear with your boundaries about, do you want to help this being right now? So I've gone to places and most of the time I would help them and bring the healing that I could to the land or the place that called me. But then I got to a point where, well, some days I just feel tired or I need to replenish myself and I'm not available to help anyone else, even a nature spirit or an elemental or a dragon or whoever's calling. So to honor that and to know that you have a right to say no. I would love to help you. Maybe I can help you tomorrow. Maybe we can find someone else. Like, I hear your call. I recognize, I love you, but I can't help you right now. So please respect my boundaries. So this little exercise I'm going to share, or these series of things, will kind of help get you in that mode and understanding a little more of what I'm sharing. So a few practices that I share almost all the time with any client or student or mentee is to make sure your energy is grounded. And that right away will help balance your chakras, your auric field. And to recognize your auric field is where your boundaries live. And there's all these different layers. And that's a whole nother area of study. But that's important to recognize you have this space around you that's like your Merkaba, your auric field, your container, as it were, to help you hold your grounded energy. And what grounding does is it uses gravity to release emotions, thoughts, energies, entities, anything that you don't need at this time. And so imagine your tree is a really beautiful way, or go next to a tree, stand next to a tree outside and tune in, just bring your energy into your heart and imagine roots growing at your feet and out your root or the tailbone, your root chakra, and just let those roots flow, unfurl, and connect to the very center of the earth, and intend to connect with that crystalline grid of the earth. And just do that now and see how different you feel. Sometimes when I do it, I just feel, yes. So asking for that crystalline grid alignment, which brings you into the whole communication system of Mother Earth. Those are all the crystals that form the communication system. So you're connecting into the oneness of the earth. And anchor in to the center. You can imagine kind of plugging in or clipping in to the center of the earth. And even as you go places, you can kind of see it like there's a ball bearing holding you and connecting you to the center, regardless of where you go. That's helpful for people who are moving around a lot and don't know where they're supposed to be on the earth. I've used that one. Nice. And then also ground your auric field. Just imagine it grounding all the way down and just releasing anything you don't need. Nice. And then connecting to the sun, the source, God, Goddess, the creator above. You can imagine that you have branches or a crown, flower crown, opening, connecting to source, and then allowing source energy to flow into your body. And this is a familiar practice for a lot of energy work. Basic energy work is getting your energy flowing, your vertical alignment through your central channel. It's really important. And then I'm going to add something here that's really helpful, especially we're going through a lot of releasing on this planet, and just ask to clear attachments because they can affect your energy and your safety and how you work with these energies. And this can include fairies and devas or trees or places you used to live that you're very connected but you don't live anymore, or places where hard things happened on the land. So we're just going to ask, just bring your energy back to your heart, gather it up, feel your grounding, anchor in each direction, each element, and then ask to clear any attachments that you hold, that you carry, that you participate in, between any person, place, situation, or outcome. Person, place, situation, or outcome, and will include fairies, nature spirits, trees. Any attachments that are not healthy. We form loving connections, but we're releasing attachments that might pull on our energy, deplete us, make us not connect in a safe way with other beings or places or people. And as you do this, you might feel different energy cords being released from your body. Just imagine them. You might have people come into your mind. Just let them go back. Let these cords or energy with love, healing, compassion. Thank you for the connection. Let's form healthy connections here and release these old attachments that don't serve me. So you may feel that really free up your energy, and this will help you connect with fairies and nature spirits, devas and elementals even more when you're freed up and clear, your heart's clear. And as you do this, you're welcome to invite in your personal guides. I just assume that as we do this, we are working with our personal spirit guides that work with us in nature. And then if I want to call in and work with the fairy realms and the different beings, I always make an offering. So I welcome whatever offering that is for you. It could be a song, it could be your love, it could be flowers or food or cake or wine or mica, whatever it is that feels like you would love to gift to the fairies. I love doing natural things too that can go back to the earth, especially if you're leaving them outside. And then with that offering, we're going to ask permission to work with them. Permission's huge. Like, you need an invitation to be safe working with these realms. So asking permission is it's like knocking on the door or asking for consent. Can I come in and work with you? Can I come in and have an experience? Can I learn about you? Can I learn about these trees? Can I be with the water and feel healing energies? Or can I help this land that needs support? So it's part of a way of opening and connecting and asking and honoring, and then setting those boundaries. So this is part of the setting boundary and being discerning process. Like, what do you actually want to do with the fairies? Do you want all the fairies to come around and hang out with you? I'd be careful what you ask for. Like, these realms are very powerful. They're very shamanic. They're very potent beings of energy, and they live on all different dimensions. And I want to share this story. When I was teaching a unicorn class, I was really excited. People were going to come over, and I was going to help them introduce them to their unicorn guide and work with them and connect more with that energy. And then I thought, there's all these fairies around the land. They really want to be part of it. So before the class, I was with my assistant, and I said, I'm going to invite the fairies in because I think that would be nice to have them supporting the unicorns in the class. So I invited them in, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, standing at the sink and like feeling really nauseous, and oh my gosh, it was like millions of fairies just flooded in to the room and into my energy field. And what I realized was that I needed to have boundaries and be discerning. So I said, oh my gosh, fairies, you are so amazing, but you're so powerful. Like, what I realize is this is really dedicated to the unicorns. And I can do another fairy class another time. But I think because it's about the unicorns, I need you to step back. I need you to move back and give the unicorns and our group and us space to really co-create the magic with the unicorns, because that's the intention of this class or this workshop. And so they respected, like, immediately. It's like whoosh, they flew away and set up, and they observed and they're around, but they didn't get too engaged and create overstimulation, or maybe that's the trouble that they can sometimes cause, is they can be mischief makers and get in there. And so boundaries and discernment is really important for this work, for all the work with spiritual realms, ancestors and spirits of land. It's very important to know these foundational things. And I want to share a few words that I always use that are really helpful for kind of like setting clear invitations and intentions for this work. And so if I want to work with the fairies or any of the spirits of your land, or elementals or devas, places and ones that are yours that you work with, always ask for the beneficial ones to be the ones you're going to work with. That word is really helpful, beneficial. You can also ask for only those that are in your highest good, can work with you for this connection, communication, healing, whatever it is you're going to do. And then this one, a friend Sarah Lise came up with, that's find really helpful, because it's about our self-sovereignty. And any being that does not respect your self-sovereignty, you do not want to work with. I don't care what realm they're from. If they do not respect your will, your self-sovereignty, your freedom, then I would highly recommend that you don't work with them, because they're there for their own purposes and not to support you. So this phrase, calling upon the cosmic sovereign law of one, the cosmic sovereign law of one, that the beneficial beings that are the highest and best good of all are the ones that I work with and connect with today. And as I said, again, tune into how you feel. If something feels off, I'd recommend you kind of set some boundaries, say these words, ground. You can also ask for a gatekeeper, like if there's lots of fairies all around, or you're working with land and you're kind of overwhelmed, you can ask, okay, I'd like to work with one spokes fairy, or one spokes gnome, or the mermaid that's in charge of this river, or the deva that oversees this mountain. Ask for that higher being that kind of is more of a overseer. So you can ask for that gatekeeper or that energy to come and assist you in your connection, in your the way that you connect, and be safe with that. And there's another or a couple other recommendations of things that I've used over the years that have been really helpful. I know there's a lot more to learn about this, and I'll be sharing other things, or you can see my other videos on my YouTube channel, or through my website, camillablossom.com. And also I've been making flower essences for over 20 years, and so they have been really helpful as an empath, sensitive. You can hear the chickens over there. I'm out in my yard. The yarrow flower essence and pink yarrow flower essence are excellent for people who are empathic and sensitive, to help firm your boundaries, really knit your energy system, be clearer and stronger. The lily, I have a number of wild lilies I've made flower essences from. Those are not only beautiful for setting and claiming your sacred space, your creative space is how I call it. They're also really beautiful for embracing and opening to more of the feminine principle, which is for men and women and all genders, is that aspect of us that is more yin, more intuitive, more sensitive, needing more grounding. So lily's another one, great for reclaiming personal space and the feminine archetypes. And then also doing work with the chakra system and the auric field to really learn about them and grow with that. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and really know that you can receive so much fulfillment and happiness and joy and a sense of belonging when you connect more with the realms of fairy, the nature spirits, elementals, and devas, in whatever way that is for you, even if it's just simply sitting by a tree and receiving and giving love. But these are just some practices that can help you feel more safe and clear, and actually open you to deeper communication and connection with Mother Earth and all of the beautiful beings. So thank you from Earth School. This is Camilla, and like I say, feel free to check out more at my website. I have lots of online classes and mystery school, and lots of products in my shop, and different things you can explore or read about to learn more. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful fairy day.